this is not written into your story.
Mhm.
There's something else. Keep going, keep going. You'll find it.
Real Talk with Star Scorpio, Season 9. My guest today shares practical strategies for those seeking a shift from the daily grind, offering guidance on achieving freedom in both time and finances. Her Facebook profile displays words that resonate with me: freedom, your life, your choice, no limits. Allie, welcome to Real Talk with Star Scorpio. How you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Awesome. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Let the people know. So we're gonna have people listening and watching this podcast. I'm in Toronto. Let the people know where you are.
So I'm in Vancouver, Canada, and specifically I live very close to the core of Vancouver, so I'm in the mix. I'm in the hustle and bustle of close of downtown Vancouver, right by the water. And it's a beautiful, beautiful day today. Surprisingly, no rain, no rain.
Yo, yeah, I hear so many things about Vancouver. I have to make my way out there. But
Yes.
you don't get the bad winters, do you?
Well, that's depends on what you define as bad. I mean, I love rain, so for me, the winters are great. And but some people want the sun and the snow,
Mhm.
or tropical, not so good. I mean, if you don't like dull skies, Vancouver might be a little tough for you.
Yeah, I heard about the rain. But yeah, you know what's crazy this year? The snow didn't come to us. The snow came to us earlier on in December. Like we had a little snow here and there, but our Christmas was, it's still raining. It was
Yeah,
raining for a week now. It's crazy.
green Christmas. I think
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah, that's that's what we had to. No snow. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
all right.
All right. On Real Talk, we like to build a timeline. So first I want to know, where were you born and raised?
So, it's funny that we were just talking about rain and snow, but I was actually born in the snow. I come from northern Canada, from a little town called Fort McMurray, Alberta, which is quite isolated and under a blanket of snow for almost 8 months of the year. I haven't been up there since 2001. I hear that the snow doesn't last that long anymore, but
Mhm.
we're talking 30 below, 40 below, snow above your knees, freezing cold, uh, borealis forest, icy roads, warming up the car, freezing your fingers and toes. That was my life. And I always dreamed about moving away from that. Not saying anything bad about the snow and the cold and Fort McMurray,
Mhm.
which was a very dear place in my heart. But I always dreamed of moving up to the coast, which is where I am now.
Yeah. So what age did you move at, first of all?
Well, I migrated out of Fort McMurray.
Hmm.
I was 20 and I moved to Calgary, Alberta, and I went to school.
Oh,
And
that
I lived there for about 10 years and then
yeah.
made my way up to Vancouver.
Okay. I like to ask my guests about schooling. So 20, but where did you go to high school?
Well, I went to high school in Fort McMurray.
Mhm.
Do you want the name of the high
Yeah,
school?
go ahead, shout it out.
Okay, so the name of the high school, Father Mercredi Community High School in Fort
Mhm.
McMurray. Um, and there were only three high schools there, so we were one of the three. Um, but yeah, it was, and I'm surprisingly still friends with a lot of those high schoolers that are all spread out across the country.
Were you like me? Because do you mind sharing your age with the audience too?
I don't. I'm 48 years old.
Mhm. So yeah,
48 years young.
there you go. You gotta say it right. Yeah, so I'm 50, you're 48. So we come from the same era. So I want to
Yeah.
know, just a side question. Did the same thing happen to you with the friend thing? Because, I grew up public school, junior high. Junior high was my best years. I met my best friends from there, then went to high school, but we didn't have Facebook and social media. So I lost connection with a lot of people. when Facebook came about, it was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this person since public school. And it was just an amazing thing, you know? Did that happen to you too?
Absolutely. Yeah. And then I mean, it becomes kind of addictive trying to track down everybody from your past and from high school and seeing what they've done. It's just, yeah, exact same thing. Exact same things happen. It was even more so interesting because once we graduated from high school, everybody kind of dispersed and
Yeah.
left the town and went away, and then you didn't see them unless you were in university with them or you had personal connections, tight personal connections. So then when Facebook comes along, and all of a sudden all these people reappear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, wow, wow. It just, yeah,
Yeah, some people's faces don't change though. It's like you recognize them, like, oh my gosh, you haven't changed a bit. You know that
yeah,
feeling?
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yo, one thing about Fort Mac though, how is the job situation there? Do people move out or can you build a career in that town or city, or is it just your local businesses? What is it like up there?
Well, it's an oil industry up there. So
Mm,
there's two huge, I don't know, maybe two, maybe three now, I'm not sure, oil plants there. Um, and so people actually migrate into Fort McMurray
mm,
because of the opportunities that these plants give for employment. Um, and they also afford the opportunity to the children of the people that work there.
mm,
So the community is really, really thriving off of those plants. And then when people move there, a lot of people come from the East Coast. A lot of people come from out of the country, from
mm.
all over Canada. A lot of the times they don't leave because life becomes quite cushy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they build a life, and then the community keeps building and growing and growing and growing. So it's a very, very unique community, great place to live, raise a family. Some really hardcore values are learned up there. It is really cold up there. People don't have time to get involved in some things as you would maybe elsewhere because it's just really cold. Nobody's outside.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I keep talking about it's cold, and maybe, that's just from my perspective. That may not be the same perspective of somebody else from up there. But our memories growing up there were it's a very unique community, and the connections and the ties and the bonds that we built up there, they
Mm,
never go away. They're still there,
yeah.
and I'm deeply rooted in those northern values that I've learned. I haven't been there for 20, 25 years,
Oh,
but
wow.
they're still inside me.
Did you leave family there? How was your family life growing up? Did you leave family there or did everyone move at the same time?
We didn't move at the same time. I have three other siblings and my mom and dad. We all one by one left once we came of age. My mom and dad stayed there until my dad retired, and then they came out to the West Coast as well. So we don't have any more family up there.
Oh,
So
okay.
the only reason why I would go up there is to see any remaining friends, which I think they've also kind of left as well. And to just kind of walk down memory lane and then to get reconnected to those roots.
Yeah, yeah, understandable. Is your lineage in Canada or when you go back to the countries, were your parents born somewhere else or were your roots in Canada?
No, my parents were born in Madras, India,
Oh,
which is now
really?
called Chennai.
Hmm.
Um, and then they migrated to Canada in 1968. No, 1969.
Hmm.
And they've never been back. So my eldest sister was born there, and they moved, and then the rest of my siblings were born in Edmonton, Canada,
Hmm.
and and then my dad got work up in Fort McMurray, and then we went up there, and it was a
Okay.
very, very small, isolated, underdeveloped town, and a small pot of people there.
Mm.
So we grew with the city.
Okay. Makes sense. Now, I want to ask about high school though, because leading to where you are now in your life and the decisions you make, I want to know in high school, what did you excel in? Because I like to know what my guests um, were fond of. Was it the math, the sciences, the English? Was it the art, the drama? Let me know.
Um, that's a really good question. I don't know. I don't know what I excelled in. I
Mm,
was really deeply rooted in music. So I did my studies and I felt I was very good in biology.
mm,
But I excelled marks wise in chemistry. Um, And I wasn't a high scoring student. I just made the grade. I was average,
Mm.
a little bit
So
above
wait,
average.
you just told me something there because I thought I seen you on your Facebook page playing a guitar, deeply rooted music. So what's going on here? Tell me about your musical
Uh,
background.
so I grew up playing the piano. I'm a classical pianist, and I started playing when I was 5. So I latched onto that from a very young age. I spent hours and hours and hours playing. It was the biggest love of my life, and I just really really attached onto that, and I competed a lot when I was growing up. I went through all the training. I actually attended college and started in a music program.
Mm.
I didn't finish it because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with it. I didn't know if I wanted to perform. I didn't know if I wanted to teach. I didn't know what direction I wanted to go. And I don't know if I wanted to make a career out of it. It was an extension of me, and it was something that was kind of my refuge. And I'm not sure if I really wanted to make a career out of it and then spend money on the more education. So I left that program. But then when I left home, I didn't have my piano when I left home and I moved to Calgary. So I kind of started living my life without it, and I felt a little bit lost without that.
Mhm.
So I it kind of fell to the back burner, the music side. And I was involved in music in other ways, but not necessarily as a performer or as an artist or actually playing. Um, but it's always been inside me, and I've opened other another music business along the way in my life, which once again involved in music, not actively playing. So that part of me kind of went dormant until maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and the lid came off,
Yeah.
and that part of me kind of reemerged as a new in a new way musically.
Mhm. All
Mhm.
right. Before I get into what you're doing now, do you remember your first jobs? And so you had that inclination for music, but do you remember that job? Did you have aspirations to do something in finance, in business, or helping people? What was your inclination and what were you going
Well, this
towards?
this might be completely off subject, but just very actually aligned with how I am. I'm all over the place in my life and try different things. But I actually was pursuing a career in criminal justice.
Oh, wow.
Um, so I had strong interest and a passion for that. And I went to Mount Royal College and I took the criminal justice program there. It turned out it wasn't for me. And so I didn't follow through with that plan.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I know someone who took. I know a couple of police officers too, and I know some people that took the criminal justice because you have this dedication. It's very difficult too, right? But it's crazy when you find out that this is not your path, and then you switch and you pivot into something else. Um, so when I found you on Facebook, I don't know how we found you. Found me. I found you. I liked what you were doing and I seen your post. And don't want to do it misjustice. I want you to explain to the people what you do right now, how you help people out.
Oh, well, currently um, I'm in the network marketing world,
Mhm,
and I show people a business system that can help them make a lot more money in their life,
mhm,
and also spread knowledge about a product in the health and wellness uh, arena. It's kind of about spreading knowledge about health, wellness, and finances, and achieving certain goals, and achieving goals, financial goals. That's in a nutshell. In a nutshell, that's what I do. There's quite a lot of information about it, and don't really. I'm not sure if this is the correct area to get into it, but I can certainly share more information about that if anybody wants to go down that road. But I like to work with people that have very strong vision and a very and specific goals for their life and are ready to get started to achieve that. I look for people that don't necessarily have the experience but have the heart, and are ready to be open, try new things, and follow. be coached and follow a system that's actually out there that'll enable a lot of people to achieve exactly what it is that they want, whether it's
What
time freedom or financial freedom, more be able to buy a home for themselves, or take more vacations, or just free up their life.
what sparked your interest in it? Because I know some people, something happens in their lifetime, in their life, where it makes you want to help people out. Like, this is why I'm doing the podcast. I want to help people out. I want to donate to causes and things like that. So did anything happen in your life where it sparked an idea for you to go down this direction?
Yes, absolutely. I became a mother, and I have to go back to work. Um, and that was, 8 years ago. I've struggled since then, until I started doing this business. I
Mhm.
struggled with the thought that I missed out on time with my daughter. Um, from the moment that I had to drop her off at daycare and then go back to work. Now, I have to say, I'm grateful that I had work. I'm grateful that I had wonderful, wonderful jobs to sustain me and my family.
Mhm.
And my pay was decent, but it wasn't enough. I needed time. And that the time slipped by and I couldn't get it back. And there were milestones that she achieved in her life that was at daycare. And I made a decision. It pushed me over the edge when one day I had to ask permission to leave work because she was sick and I had to go pick her up.
Mhm.
And that's when it hit me, is this is not what I signed up for. This is not the life that I want. I need to have that freedom to be there for my child. I want to be there through every milestone. I don't want to miss out on time. I don't want to ask permission on anything. And I want to be able to sustain my family. How am I going to do that? How am I going to be able to do that? Like, well, how are other people doing it? You know, um, it seemed super impossible for me, but at the same time, something inside of me was telling me that it wasn't. I just had to find the right vehicle to do it. So an opportunity crossed my plate. I looked into it. I opened myself up. I took it and I realized, okay, wow, there's something here and I can actually achieve this vision and this life that I want. I just have to go for it. And so I did. And that's why you see all this on my Facebook page. I'm trying to recruit people that have the same type of motivation and have a motivation, have a why, have a strong why. I want people to know that nothing's impossible, as cliche as that sounds, but I've actually tapped into something that makes that life possible, whatever life it is you want. But the key is to have a strong why.
Mhm. Amazing. Thanks for sharing that, Ali. When someone actually talks to you and saying like they want help in improving their lives in whatever aspect it may be, can you tell when someone's really ready for it?
Um, yes. And I can tell you this because I can hear it in their voice, I can hear and I can feel the fire inside their soul. I can see it in their eyes, and I can see that there's no hesitation. They're ready, they want it, they want this now. I mean, they might ask some questions, due diligence, small due diligence questions, logistics wise. When somebody starts to dig too deep into, but this, but why this, why not that, why? I'm thinking, you might struggle a little bit. If you
Mhm.
want it, and I'm showing you information, I'm showing you how to achieve it. And somebody says, I'm ready, let's go. I'm ready to get this started, let's go. That I know that they're ready. And also when they tell me what's fueling this desire, and they're ready to talk about it,
Mhm.
and they're ready to just throw it down on the table and say, there it is, I want it, let's go, let's get this done.
Amazing. Were you always a good communicator with people and more extroverted? Because when I grew up, I think I was introverted up to a certain point. And then I became this extroverted person. I did up stand-up comedy and I was a funny guy in school. And I can communicate with people at a level where some people can't, and people become comfortable with me and then great conversations. So you now, what would you put your level at?
I think naturally I'm an introvert.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I'm an introvert. I feel that deep within my soul. But I'm also very comfortable in who I am.
Mm.
So if you're asking me questions about me, um, I'm comfortable to answer them because I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I have anything to prove. It's
Mm.
just me. I'm just an ordinary person. And you're asking me about experiences in my life. Everybody's got experiences in their life. And so it may sound like I'm very a good communicator, but it's just that I'm super comfortable with who I am. And I've accepted successes and failures and self-doubt. And I've accepted all that stuff and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think we need all that. That builds our character and then that sets us up for the future. You have to, this is the perfect time to answer these questions now, Ali, because some of the things, the trials and tribulations we go through life, it makes us where we're supposed to be, sets us up for the future. So now, this is the time. And your intro was amazing for this. So this is a would you rather question, Ali. Would you
Okay.
rather visit your younger self and give them advice for the future? Or would you rather visit your older self and have them give you advice for what's going on right now?
Oh, I'd rather visit my older self and give me advice for what's going on right now. For sure. You know, the younger self's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
The younger self got me to where I am right now. Whether it's where I want to be or whether where it's if it's not where I want to be. It is my story. It's in my toolkit. And my toolkit is my power.
Mm.
So yeah, no, I want to definitely talk to my older self. Give me some tips.
Yeah.
Make it a little easier, you know?
Okay, I got four more questions to do with your younger self though. But I like what you said. It's so crazy. I love hearing the different answers to that question. Some people want to go back to teach their younger selves about money, about love, family, and things like that. So you're gonna see where I'm getting to in this. And then I get those people who want to visit their older selves to get them on that path to success, but not give it away because they still want to experience it, you know? All right. Let me know whether my guest chose their younger or older self. This is about your younger self. What would you tell your younger self about money?
Oh, credit. Always don't let your credit go bad. Make sure you keep really good credit and use credit to buy assets that are going to make you money.
Nice. What would you tell your younger self about friends?
They come and go, and some of them stick. And um, and your people are out there. I mean, friends may come and go, and that's okay. That's life. And with the ones that stick, you know who they are. They're out there. They're there for you, and they have a place. Everybody has a place in your life.
Mm, amazing. What would you tell your younger self about family?
Treat your family like friends. Um, treat your friends like family, but more importantly, back to the family. Um, I think that's a tough question.
Mm,
That's a really tough question. What would you tell your younger self about family? And for I really don't know. Uh, I don't know. You've stumped me.
no, but
There's
you
I
know,
think because it's a loaded question. It's so loaded. I'm just trying to think which direction do I go here?
wait, tell me something though, Ali. When you said treat your family like friends and treat your friends like family, can you dive deeper into that? Because that
Oh
was,
boy.
I like that though, but I'm trying to get the understanding of it fully. But I liked what you said though.
I mean, if you just turn the tables and you treat your family like friends, sometimes you have more tolerance for your friends, right? More tolerance, you're more forgiving, more open. less judgy, right?
Mm,
And sometimes we should maybe try to apply that to our family members. Might make life a little bit easier, although
mm,
sometimes you might apply that with family members and they may not reciprocate. But if we all kind of did that, I mean, things might be a little easier within the family circle, and then you treat your friends like family with the loyalty, um, the unconditional love.
mm.
Uh,
Yo, you answered it. You don't have to think about the family, but that was it right there. Because that said a lot to me too. Wow. Your family like friends and your family like, oh my gosh. Last one, Allie, though. What would you tell your younger self about love?
hmm, you have to define. Actually, you don't. This is tough because I think is love is love. You're gonna feel it. You're not gonna feel it, but don't superimpose it onto anything or anyone. Be honest with yourself about it. Be honest about. Be honest with about how what your definition is of love.
Mm,
I woo, that's so tough too. Um, I'm not a very whimsical person. I'm a very down to earth, pragmatic person.
mhm.
I often judge love by behavior, not words. So watch behavior and listen to yourself and your own feelings. And just because you're supposed to love somebody or love something doesn't necessarily mean that you do. So I'd say when it comes to love, just be honest with yourself first.
You just made your own teaser. That was profound. Watch out for that, the teaser. That was nice. That was nice. Yo, so I just want to go back for a minute. You said something about the job you had and you didn't get time to spend with your daughter, and you're like, I didn't sign up for this. Do you use that story when you talk to people too? When they're stuck in that rut and they want to get out and they want that freedom to do other things?
Uh, yeah, I do. If I'm asked, when I am talking to people about possibly changing their life and changing their situation, I'd like to talk about them
Mm,
and not me. I
mhm,
mean, not because I want to hide me, but I want to illuminate them and I want to know how I can help them. And then to relate, yeah, sometimes I'll bring that up because it's such a huge part of the reason why I entered into business and wanted to become an entrepreneur. Not to mention, it's just something that it's in my blood almost. I'm a natural entrepreneur. But I like to talk about the person that I'm recruiting or wanting to coach or to teach or to take on, um, and talk about what their motivations are, what their whys. I've got lots of whys. I've got lots of motivations. I'd love to share. And I could blah 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 about that, but it's not about me. If I'm
mm,
helping people, it's about you.
mhm. I like that. That's so true. Do you have any success stories with the people that you've helped? Um, when did you start? First of all, when did you start this?
I started about 6 months ago, but I have, so I've, um, technically, but I only really started getting active about 3 months ago.
Mm,
But like I said, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, and this is not my first business.
mhm,
Um, my first business was actually in the music industry. So uh, I had a studio, and I helped musicians. I helped
mhm.
musicians. And some of them became quite successful and some of them not. But um, yeah, so this is just another kind of evolution in my entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, that's the word I was just going to use. It's your journey. But can you share a success story from anyone that you've helped though?
Um,
I thought I seen something on your page.
Um, well, there's been quite a few, just people that have, there's been people that have, I don't know what to say, like have had high commission days that
Hmm.
have, left their 9 to 5 job and decided to branch out into this business. Single moms that wanted to make more money, um, and basically, you know, stand on their own.
Hmm.
Also, trying to think, burnt out nurses. I've had burnt out nurses, flight attendants that want to um, still be able to keep their job but make money on the side while traveling. And sometimes within that field, it could become quite volatile, the employment situation.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of burnt out dental hygienists, things like that, that are just like they're burning out and they want to find another way to bring in income and sustain their family and have their freedom, get their back.
Did you learn at an early age, you know, the whole thing about monetizing and having that passive income? Did you learn that at an early age? Because if someone taught me a long time ago, it's great to have different streams of income revenue where you don't have to put that effort out where it's just coming in. I would have put more work in the past, but I didn't have someone teaching me that and I didn't read about it. But on your side, what about you?
Um, no, I didn't have anybody teaching me that, or it was just something that came out of me. I think I have struggled with um not honestly, I've said it many times in this interview, I've struggled with not having the freedom to make my to design my life.
Hmm.
So I think I've always been on the quest to find a way to do that. Um, and if I look back in my life, I think it's been a repeated pattern.
Hmm.
And when I had my child, it was just amplified how much I needed to have that freedom to design my life because I did not want to retire and look back on my life and feel like I missed out.
Hmm. Good
So
point.
I've always just been on this quest to find a way to get that back and as well financially sustain myself.
Yeah. So are these things now you're gonna pass on to your daughter? Because my daughter's 25 now, and I remember I was instilling values in her about so many different things in life. And then I see it's like you water that seed into a plant, and now my daughter's self-sufficient, already good with money. She already has her psych degree. Now she's in vet school, but she's there, you know what I mean? But it took that whole sitting down and talking, my wife and I, you know what I mean? So are you starting that now with your daughter?
Oh, she's watching, she's learning, she's in it. We're a unit of 3 people.
Mhm.
She sees what I'm doing every day. She sees how I don't give up. She understands the value of I mean, she's only 8, so I don't really talk about money too much with her yet.
Yeah.
But some of the biggest values that she's learning is determination and and uh, persistence and not giving up, setting
Mhm.
your goals and not giving up. She sees the highs, she sees the lows, she sees my triumphs, she sees everything. And I explain to her, this is what's going on, this is what happens. And I actually see her adopting some of those things into her life as well. She'll take on a task and she'll set a little goal for herself and she won't give up until she gets it. So there's so much value in that. And of course, down the road, I'll be teaching her about money and how to make money and how to, manage your money, how to be smart with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's starting.
Yeah. One big thing that my daughter struggled with even into the later ages, like 20s, early 20s, she's 25 now, was that failure thing. And I don't really call it failure. It's like if she wanted to get a 90 in school on something and she got 88, she would really internalize that and be down on herself. But you don't look at it like that. And then also when if she was applying for a job and she didn't get it, it's not a failure. You know what I mean? So that's something you have to really instill early as well, right?
That and things like that, when things like that happen, You apply for a job, you don't get it. Well, then it wasn't meant for you. Every job interview, everything you do is a learning experience. Every job interview that you go on where you don't get the job, well, guess what? You just have another interview under your belt. You've just learned more skills. Keep going, you know? I don't know how many job interviews I went on to land my last job, which was a really good one. And I sought it out. They were very cryptic in their advertisement, so I didn't know exactly what it was, but I sought it out,
Mhm.
and I went on many interviews to get to actually this one. But I looked back on all those high level interviews I went on,
Mhm.
and I didn't get those jobs, but I used so many things from those interviews, incorporated it into the final one,
Mhm.
which was the Grand Gusto, and I
Mhm.
got it. I got the job. So failure is not failure. Like I said earlier, it goes into your toolkit. And I just recently posted about this on my Facebook page. Uh, it's in your toolkit. It's unique to you, and it's where your power is. You
Mhm.
appreciate it, love it. At the time, it doesn't feel good, but it's one of the many pieces of your story.
Mhm. Building blocks. Yo, you should write a book, Allie.
Awesome. My book would be boring,
No, don't say that. Don't say that. No, but everything you're doing, helping people, teaching your daughter, all these things are amazing in life. We have this one short life, you know what I mean? And to me, I like to give back, give as much guidance and help to people as much as I can. And it just makes me feel good inside to make someone else feel good. But amazing. Can you let people know though? I have a question here that I'm going to ask, my last question, but let people know where they can find you and if it's the Facebooks, the Instagrams, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So I'm Allie on the Glow on Instagram.
Mhm.
I'm not highly active on Instagram, but I'm going to be in the new year. I'm actually going to be, and on Facebook is Allie Ross.
Ross, yeah, that's how I got you. Do you have any big plans for the new year? Because I seen a post, because this is kind of like
Yeah,
when you put 2023 behind you, this is
yeah.
a new beginning, right? So do you have any plans for the new year?
Oh yeah. I just plan on becoming more successful with my business. I want to I have certain milestones that I want to hit. I
Mhm.
want to be able to take my daughter away on some trips. Um, I want to get back to better health in my life. I mean, just the cookie cutter type stuff, but ramping it up to a whole new level.
Yeah.
I want to fulfill some of my bucket list items, and I want to get back to more of the things that make me tick. And I want to spend more time with music. So it's really all about love. I want to fall in love with myself. Um, and that means just a whole myriad of things. But I haven't had time for myself past few years, and I want to fall in love with myself and be completely okay with that.
Yo, before I get to this question, you just said something there that I might add to Real Talk with Star Scorpio, maybe in season 10. You said something about time. So I created this question about love, money, friends, and family, maybe in season 5 or 6 or something. And because I like to hear what people say. Now you said something that I want to share with people too. What would you say about time? If I just asked you this right now, what would you say about time?
It's the most precious asset. It's something you can't get back, and it is it's just the most precious thing anybody could have. Sometimes you can't have time. I'm sorry, I'm not coming up with something more profound, but the first thing that comes to my mind is that it is just the most precious asset that you could ever, and nothing can replace it. And everything exists because everything valuable exists when there's more time.
Mhm. You know what? So, you know, you just created my next. I'm gonna have staples like questions. So This is the first thing I did, which you're gonna read out. You're gonna ask me to read out one of them. The would you rather is one. I'm gonna name this next question the Allie Ross question. If you don't mind, I'm gonna name it the Allie Ross question.
I don't mind at all.
All right. I'll never forget this podcast. All right, it's about time. Okay, now, Ali, which one do you want me to read out? The Blue Jays or the Raptors?
Hmm. I'm thinking Raptors.
Oh, I haven't got this in like 5 or 6 episodes.
Oh God.
Name one challenging thing you had to overcome in life.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's see. One challenge that you had to overcome in life. Everything has been a challenge. Everything. Uh, oh my goodness. Okay. Um, Becoming so absolutely broke that I lost everything, including a place to live. I had nowhere to go. I had to start from square one. Zero, zero, $0, and start my life all over again. Um, that was the most challenging thing in my life. And yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
with that comes a whole lot of self-development, Like it was, you know, that's where the rebirth happened and the ego went away. And sometimes that's a blessing. Sometimes you have to go through like a strip down like that. And you emerge on the other side as a brand new person and with a whole lot of perspective and a fresh uh, set of eyes with a whole whack of experience behind you. So challenging in the moment, but the most rewarding in the end.
Wow. Wow. I didn't even, in the future, I'm going to have you on again. You might have to expand on this story. Um, that's, that's amazing. That's amazing that
And
you came out of it.
loaded. I'm feeling teary as I just bring that up because I don't talk about that. I don't
Wow.
talk about it because it's like I said,
Mhm.
it's sacred now. Like time has gone by, and now that part of my life is sacred, and that's where and then once again, I pull from. I
Mhm.
pull. That is my power. That is something I experience with a lot of people don't. A lot of people do,
Mhm.
but a lot of people don't to that level of loss of everything. So now that's my story, and that's sacred. And I don't actually talk about that, but I'm willing to it now. I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, yeah, I can share that. But for a long time, I look back and I reflect back, and I'm like, I went through that. I went through that. I own up to my mistakes, and I own up to my failures, and I'm accountable for that. And it was me. And I own it. That was me. That's my story. And so every decision I make going forward, I remember. I never forget. I never forget where I was. It makes me appreciate where I am more. And also inspires me because I know now that I got over that, so I can go forward and climb a lot of mountains after that and get over lots of obstacles.
Ali, yeah, you didn't even, thanks for sharing. You didn't have to share it too, but I'm glad you shared it to that point too. You don't have to share your whole story. We don't have to do another podcast, but I'm glad that you shared that too, because that really shows who you are too, that you've been through this. And it goes back to a question that I asked you, and I didn't even know about this. I was saying, hey, do you tell the people that you try and help about your daughter and and now you're telling me this too. And I'm like, you have a story. And I know you want to hear other people and have other people. It's not about you. But damn, if I heard that, those are the kind of things that when I hear, because I've heard stories like that too, where it's like it gives you more strength. You know, it's just amazing that you came out of that on the other side. Amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
Well, I'm kind of sorry. I kind of threw that at you at the
No, no,
last
no.
minute. Took you by surprise a little bit. Give you
Don't
more than you
worry.
bargained for.
Don't worry. Um, we're gonna do the donations now. Thank you for coming on the podcast. I'm gonna do the donations. And then
Yeah.
again, I wanted you to shout out where people can find you. I know you said it, but say it at the end again. But for season 9, I'm donating to Kawartha Lakes Animal Wellness Society,
Yes.
the Fundraiser Warriors, and a new one. My friend has Juku Sports Academy. It's for little boys and girls. They do all the sports and they have a sports camp. So I'm donating to those 3 charities causes today. So which balloon? Pop the left one, the middle, or the right?
Oh, we're gonna go with the middle one.
The middle. All right. Season 9. Star Scorpio will be donating too. Oh my gosh. You're not gonna be able to see it though, but it's Juku Sports. I gotta tell you, this is why this is a special episode for me with meeting you two, fellow Canadian as well. You're the you're the 3rd episode for season 9, and the other ones were chosen. And this is the first time Juku's been a balloon and the first time Juku's been chosen. So I'm gonna tell my friend Kevin.
Awesome. Awesome. Woohoo!
Amazing. All right, Allie, before we go, just shout out your links, your handles one more time.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram at Allie on the Glow, ALLIE on the Glow, and Allie Ross on Facebook.
Right. This has been wonderful. Real Talk with Star Scorpio, and we out.